Objection! I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright.
But Mr. Wright, but why? I killed her! I remember it now! Any counter-argument now is pointless!
Objection!
Objection! Don't tell me you've forgotten one of the basic tenets of lawyering. Always believe in the client to the bitter end. Athena, you are not a murderer.
Objection!
Oh, I thought that was Athena for some reason.
Oh.
Okay. Objection! I say that you've never changed, but could you have actually regressed in these 8 years? I won't stand for your childish emotionalism getting in the way of the truth.
Emotionalism? Don't mention me on the matter of the heart, Edgeworth. But I can see straight into a person's soul. Oh, that's right, I forgot about that.
Oh!
Forgot about that.
Black Cyclops. We said this already.
I did a little research. I looked into those special Cyclops you mentioned, Mr. Nick. Athena isn't trying to keep anything from you on purpose. For some reason, part of her heart and her memories are sealed off, even from herself.
I have to probably even research anything about these spiritual stuff. There's still a chance, somewhere deep in Athena's heart. There might still be a memory that not even she knows about yet. It might be like looking for a grain of sand somewhere in the cosmos, but still, that memory might contain a new fact that could prove her innocence.
I hope for everyone's sake that you are not just bluffing, Mr. Wright. Now then, is there or is there not a problem with Miss Sykes' confession?
My memory is still a little hazy, but there's no question I remember it. I remember the weight of the weapon in my hands, and the feeling of it stabbing in deep. And I remember the warmth of her blood as it flowed down the handle onto my fingers.
There's definitely something wrong with her memory of the event. I can just tell.
If there's a problem with her confession, please prove it to the court. Now!
Oh boy. Ignore that banging in the background. Wait. Is it the moon rock earring?
It's an earring the doctor said gave to Athena. The stone was cut from real moon rock that was being used for research. I don't think
I guess
so.
not. No.
The weapon was used in a murder 7 years ago. It belonged to the victim. The blood was found only on the table.
Only on the table. Wait, what about the autopsy report?
The cause of death was stab wound to the chest. The weapon pierced the heart and so death was instantaneous.
Ah.
Actually, hold on. Athena said that she felt the weight of the hand and the blood flowing through her fingers. But the katana was the murder weapon, right? But there's no traces of blood on the handle.
Oh!
So I think it might be the katana.
Yes.
I'll try it. Take that!
Isn't that the katana the defendant used to kill the victim, Mr. Wright?
I respectfully and vehemently disagree, Your Honor.
Well, I remember it! I remember holding the weapon and getting blood on my fingers!
Oh. That's exactly my point. If blood really did get on your fingers while you were holding it, there should be blood on the handle. But please focus on the handle of the sword. There's not a trace of blood on it. And therefore, this is clearly a contradiction of the facts.
You're right!
Oh my!
Objection!
Objection! The defendant must have simply confused a portion of her memories. She mentioned that it was hazy to begin with, and we can't mull away every minor detail.
Objection!
Objection! But she also said there's no question I remember it. A fact we can't ignore.
In that case, why don't you explain what this contradiction with her memories mean?
Gladly. Just give me a sec to think of this something. I want to say that Athena didn't stab anyone, but she said herself that she remembers the feeling of committing the act. Think, Phoenix, think. What could the contradiction with Athena's memories mean? The blood was wiped off the weapon, the defendant used a different weapon.
The only thing I can think of is a different weapon.
The defendant, okay, I'll just try that. The defendant used a different weapon.
If we get it wrong, then we still got almost a full bar, so...
It's like that blood flowed down the handle, but the katana handle is spotless. So, doesn't it follow that the defendant must have used a weapon other than the katana?
What are you up to this time?
This is it. This time I found just the thing to end Athena's nightmare for good. The weapon that took Dr. Psyche's life was the katana. That much is for sure. So if I could show a possibility that Athena didn't use the katana, it could help me prove her innocent.
A different weapon, you say? What weapon would that be exactly?
Right, of course you would ask that.
I can see you're floundering, Mr. Wright. Did you speak without thinking again, as always? As always?
How does he do that? I can't back down. Not here, not now.
What do you mean, as always?
I have no idea. That's right, I did, because it's so obvious it doesn't require any thought.
What did you say?
Okay, so maybe that was an exaggeration. There has to be something. There's some other bladed weapon in the robotics lab that day. Maybe there's something in one of the crime scene photos.
Oh.
Wait a minute. There is something. There is a high probability that that was in the lab. I don't have that particular weapon here in evidence right now, but I do have a piece of evidence just like it. Other than the katana, this is another blade that may have been at the crime scene.
Wait.
The knife?
The utility knife!
This is the one that killed Clay Tarrant, if memory serves.
Yeah, what if she used it too? Or, not she, but somebody else. What if the same knife was used? Should we try it?
I guess we'll try that.
It's the only other bladed weapon we have.
Yep. Alright. Take that!
Well, but that's the murder weapon in the Clay Turing case!
Yes, this is the knife that took Mr. Tarrant's life. But there must have been a knife just like this at the scene 7 years ago as well. Toolkits containing utility knives like this are issued to Space Center employees. And a robotic lab especially would naturally have one of these around.
Objection!
Objection! But, besides the katana, no other bladed weapon was found at the site. It was in the investigation report. If you didn't... It's lagging. If you didn't know...
Objection!
Objection! Of course I knew that. What you told me just now.
Then here's something else you already know. There was a toolkit at the crime scene. But it didn't contain any blades. There was a photo of its contents.
That's because it's missing it.
Duh!
You're right! I don't see any kind of bladed tool!
Fine. Isn't there something odd about the design of these handles?
Therefore, there was no other bladed weapon in the room.
Objection!
Objection! I disagree. This tool contained a knife.
And what proof do you have of that?
Don't tell me your eye of art for art is failing you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
You are the last person in this world who should be criticizing my aesthetic sense.
Now, he is simply watching out for your ocular health. Please proceed, Mr. Wright.
Notice that the handle of each of these tools have a sort of design of them.
Ah, I see that they do. But what significance does that have? Whoops, I had the wrong one.
It's clear that one of the tools is missing from this kit. If we were to rearrange the tools into a specific pattern, we might be able to tell which part of the overall design is missing.
Is that theory your pitiful sense of aesthetics helped you come up with?
Edgeworth, just let it go, man.
Show the court then, if you would. What pattern or design would we see if we were to rearrange the tools?
This knife has like a little arrow on the handle. Design? This one? I mean, if you look at it,
Yeah.
Well, we're only looking at it, but not the description itself, but we'll try this anyways, I guess. Alright.
Take that!
And what design is this supposed to represent?
The Gyaxa logo. Your Honor, it's on all of the Space Center documents and pamphlets. As you're aware, Gyaxa is the program that operates as calling the Space Center.
Look at how brightly the Gyaxa logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. I really dig the stars and rocket it's got going.
Gyaxa, huh? Isn't that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program?
I think I see it now, but...
Yes, but just the tool shown in this photo. The red A part of the logo is missing. Aha. And this is where the murder weapon from the Terran case comes into play. If we were to place the utility knife in the open slot...
Boom.
Gyaxa. It would complete the Gyaxa logo.
So it would! Then that means...
Admit it, Mr. Edgeworth. My aesthetic sense is keener than yours, and while you're at it, admit that the weapon Miss Psyche used could have been this one.
Ah! Good.
Order! Order in the court!
Miss Psyche confessed to having a memory of stabbing the victim. Admittedly, Miss Psyche most likely did stab someone using the utility knife. However, the weapon used to kill Dr. Psyche was a katana. Therefore, the act of stabbing that Miss Psyche remembered couldn't be that of Dr. Psyche.
Very well. Let's suppose for a minute that Miss Sykes, you did use the utility knife. Tell me, how does that change anything?
Come again?
What if the katana was only being used as a decoy to conceal the true murder weapon? No. But if the real murder weapon that took the victim's life was the utility knife?
Don't be ridiculous, or you're changing the premise of your entire argument.
I'm merely offering a hypothetical situation derived from your logic. Miss Sykes could have put blood on the katana to make it look like the murder weapon, and then concealed the knife on her personage until Blackwell carried her away.
It does clear up the contradiction between Miss Sykes' memories and the evidence.
If, in fact, the murder weapon is a utility knife, then fate has dealt you a cruel hand. For you have just proven the knife's existence to the rest of us with your own logic.
Objection!
Objection! Prosecution attempting to lead the court.
Objection!
Objection! You're the one attempting to lead the court, Mr. Wright. By forcing us to forget the facts of this case. Need I remind you that there was only 2 people in the lab at the time of the murder? And that the defendant herself recalls stabbing someone with her own hands?
No.
It matters not whether the murder weapon was a katana or a utility knife. As long as we know that the victim and the defendant were the only ones there. You cannot escape the fact that it was Athena Sykes who killed her own mother.
I don't believe it. Why does this keep happening? Every time I find a contradiction, it vanishes and the suspicion keeps coming back. It's almost as if...
Now you're finally starting to get it. Your contradictions keep vanishing because the charge is true. And the suspicion keeps coming back to the defendant because that's where it belongs. Phoenix Wright. It blurred out. It blurred out. When will you open your eyes and accept the truth? Edgeworth!
Don't want to believe it. It can't be true. What if...
Mr. Wright, you fought a good fight. I think you've done all you can do.
Is giving up really the only option? No. Snap out of it, Phoenix. What's the matter with you? Giving in to doubt? I can't look back. Forward the only way to go. No, Your Honor, not yet. It isn't over yet.
Right.
That's it. I can't lose sight of what's important. I believe in Athena, and I'll always believe in her. To the very end. As defense lawyer never gives up on his client. I have to pick myself up and stand firm. Make that brain of yours work, Phoenix. If I don't see a way, I'll just have to go back and look for one. Time to rethink this case thoroughly.
Are we doing that thing again?
Yup. I can see the fact that Athena must have stabbed someone with a utility knife. This must have been what Ponko witnessed as Athena's hug. Prosecutor Ponko didn't see the knife at the scene. This means that someone must have removed it from the lab before he arrived. Who could have taken the utility knife from the lab? Maybe it's like someone else.
Someone else.
Okay. Okay. If I trusted Athena, then I have to conclude that there was a third person at the scene. According to Ponko's testimony, Athena and her mother were the only 2 there. So then how did the third person manage to escape Ponko's detection? I know. This one was to fool Ponko's facial recognition feature by covering Ponko's face.
Their face.
The victim's face. Their own face. Okay. Wait a minute. Ponko has a heartbeat detection system too. Even if they killed their own fate, Ponko would have still detected their presence. But she wouldn't have been able to tell who they were. Wait, that's it. The culprit could have covered their face and posed as whispers to avoid detection.
Ponko!
Ponko?
No heartbeat.
Well, the culprit could have covered their face and posed as which person to avoid detection.
Oh.
I don't think it might be Meta-Sykes.
We'll try Ponko first, and if it's not Ponko, then it's Mita.
Okay. Ponko? Nope.
No.
What if the culprit posed as Ponko? That way, the real Ponko would just think she was looking in the mirror. Okay, now that's just silly. Scratch that. The culprit could have covered the face as Meta-Sykes.
There we go.
And posed as a victim. If the culprit posed as a victim, that would explain why Ponko thought only she and Athena were there. All they had to do was take advantage of Ponko's basic recognition features. If the culprit used this in order to pose as a victim, or the culprit used this in order to pose as a victim. According to her voice, her jacket, her katana.
Jacket.
Yeah, her jacket. That would make more sense. The culprit could have posed as a victim by wearing her jacket ID with the ID tag on it. But that still leaves the heartbeat detection system. How did the culprit get around that? It wouldn't have worked if Ponko could detect the real Dr. Psyche's heartbeat too. Does that mean that the real Dr. Psyche was already dead by that time? If that's the case, then who did Athena stab? The victim, the defendant, the real culprit?
The real culprit?
Let's see what happens. If it's indeed the real culprit, then we'll see. The real culprit.
Oh.
Athena stabbed the real culprit. That's it. The person
Yeah,
Athena
but
stabbed wasn't
in the
Dr.
end,
Psyche.
in the end, she still stabbed someone. How does that change the fact that she's? How does that change anything?
Well, I mean, the fact that the culprit wasn't the victim, then I guess that's not necessarily the case.
Huh. Okay.
So, yeah, we'll see. The person Athena stabbed wasn't Dr. Psyche. It was the person who murdered her and then pretended to be her. The real culprit.
Now that Mr. Wright has finally finished thinking, let us bring this to a swift end. Please give us your verdict, Your Honor, so that we can move on to hostage negotiations. Get ready.
You are absolutely right, Edgeworth. I hereby...
Objection!
Objection! Wasn't the
I
big
thought it was
one.
going to be a big one.
Yeah, same, but oh well. I didn't say it was finished. I was only pausing for a second. Because I realized something so shocking I had to take a break to digest it. But now I know for a fact that... Miss Sykes is innocent.
But Ponko saw me! She witnessed the moment of the crime!
Yes, Ponko did witness something. She saw the hug. In other words, the moment you used the utility knife. But the person you stabbed wasn't your mother.
What are you saying, Mr. Wright?
The answer is simple. The person Miss Sykes stabbed was a third person, posing as Dr. Sykes.
What?
Objection!
Objection! Do you really expect us to swallow that, Mr. Wright? According to the robot's statement, there was no third person there. Did you really think I wouldn't see through your ludicrous grab for time?
Objection!
Objection! After all we've been through, Miss Edgeworth, I'm disappointed. Don't you know by now that this smile of mine means I have absolute confidence?
Ha! You make that pose all the time, regardless of the facts.
Ponko's strange malfunction.
Mr. Taryn, you look pale. Should I help you to the sick boy?
Sick bay. Mr. Taryn, but that's Apollo you're talking to.
Oh, she thought it was Taryn because Apollo's wearing Taryn's jacket.
Speaking of Apollo, where is he? He's probably gonna jack something.
Oh, this hunk of junk here is mistaking Apollo for Clay. Maybe Apollo's possessed by Clay's ghost.
That's another case of mistaken identity caused by the Jack SD. All because Clark couldn't read Apollo's facial features due to the eye patch. Like Mr. Edwards said, a mask can nullify the robot's facial recognition, and then all the person would have to do is wear a jacket with the victim's ID to help the fact pose about.
Objection!
Objection! Of all the ridiculous theories, what good would a silly disguise like that do? Have you forgotten that the robot also has a heartbeat detection system? If there was a third person at the scene, the robot would have detected them!
I'm sorry, Mr. Edward, but that doesn't count for much, I'm afraid. Because, by that time, Dr. Syke's heart had already stopped beating.
What?
So does that mean?
Yes, Your Honor, the person Miss Syke stabbed... This third person who was posing as Dr. Syke is her mother's real killer.
But that's... Impossible!
A mask! The person I stabbed was wearing a mask?
Order! Order in the court! Oh, sorry. It froze. Miss Sykes, did you say something?
A mask? Yes. I remember
Athena,
No
what
way.
is it? Oh?
Oh?
I remember a man with a mask! How could he? What did he do to my mother? My head!
Miss Sykes, are you alright?
The black Cyclops. They're breaking. So there was a third person.
Kaboom.
It's all coming back to me! Everything that happened the day my mother was murdered!
Oh, okay. Oh. They're gone. The black Cyclops are finally gone. You didn't really stab your mother, did you? It's alright, Athena. Just tell us what you saw that day.
I was drawing a picture. When I was done, I went to show it to my mom. I opened the door, and then...
It's alright, I'm right here. You're safe, Athena.
She was on the floor by the workbench with the katana sticking out of her. There was a handkerchief over her face, but I knew it was her by her clothes. And there was a man there.
A man?
Hold it! Why, Your Honor? Go on, Athena.
tried to attack me. In panic, I grabbed the knife that was there and... He dodged at first, so he only got his clothes. But I tried again.
And this time you got him, didn't you?
I did. I remember it clearly now. The knife went into the back of his hand.
So you stabbed the culprit by the hand?
Wait a minute, dude, I just realized that means Athena won't get charged for that. You know why?
Why?
Because the attacker was trying to attack her. So she was just retaliating in self-defense. That's not a crime.
Yeah.
If you kill somebody in self-defense, that's not a crime. You don't get charged for that. Like if somebody broke into my house and was about to like stab at me, and if I shot him with a gun, that's just self-defense in America. But yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It's like if he was trying to kill me, but then I shot him and killed him in defense, I don't get charged for that. Okay. So Athena's not going to get charged for this because she was just like the guy was trying to attack her and she retaliated.
And this real culprit tried to attack this little girl. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
This might be this. I don't know. Could be the spy that we're looking for.
I think it is. I think it has to be.
Then he kicked me and I passed out.
Oh.
Ugh.
Moreover, in this case, Tina also used one of these to stab the Phantom's hand during incident 7 years ago.
When I came to, my mom wasn't moving. I had to do something. I had to fix her, I thought. So I asked Paco to move her to the operating table.
So it was true that it was a naive mistake, but she was already dead before then.
Something's wrong with Mom, so I'm taking her apart to fix her.
That's why she said that. Your Honor, as you can see, the defendant has just given us critical new testimony. A man was there before Miss Sykes arrived. A man who covered the victim's face. And put on the victim's jacket. This man is the real culprit.
Miss Sykes, do you have any idea who this man was?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
A few months ago, Miss Sykes mentioned a mask. Athena, can you tell us anything else about that?
Yes, the mask. It was my mom's Japanese theater mask. I think it was the one hanging on the wall of the lab.
That's one creepy looking mask.
Oh. Wait, was that there in the picture before? Was that there in the picture before? Has to have been.
I guess I don't know.
Ah, this mask hanging here on the wall.
It was kind of spooky, that mask, my mom used to tell me. That a gnome mask has the power to turn an ordinary human being into a phantom.
So pretty much whoever wore that mask became the Phantom, and is this real culprit. Of a Phantom?
It would seem that a new suspect has emerged. And that means that all suspicion against Miss Sykes has...
What? Hold it! You see? This is precisely why I can't trust the court system. Athena Sykes is the murderer. I won't accept any other verdict.
Miss Blackwell? This is not good.
A new suspect? Where's the proof of this person ever existed? Who says it wasn't all just a dream in the little princess's groggy little head?
Ugh, he's right. Don't have any hard evidence of the masked man's existence.
Objection!
Oh.
Oh.
Objection! Thank you, Mr. Wright. I'll never be able to repay you for all you've done. But I'm fine now, because I can say with certainty that I didn't kill my mother.
Athena, I'm so glad for you.
More and more memories are coming back now. So I'd like to say one thing if I could. Paco came to the robotics lab at around 2 p.m. to recharge.
I went to the robotics lab at about 2 p.m. for my regular recharge.
You basically just said the same statement, but yeah.
Just as I was about to charge out, Athena came in and hugged Mommy Metis. And then Mommy Metis fell down. After that, I was recharging, so I don't know anything.
I see where you're going with this. If Mommy Metis was really the killer in disguise...
Right. He must have come to the robotics lab before 2 p.m.
Do I have anything here in the evidence that can help me find this person who came to the lab before 2 p.m.? Are you showing the door to the quarantine? Why will the other one come pass through at the quarantine? But does this video also contain anything before that? No, not the earring. Nope. Is it possible that this video has any other recording? Anything in the photo? It's either the old 7-year-old video or the photos. At least my assumption. Should I try the video first?
Maybe.
Oh, screw it. Take that!
Bar went away.
This is Prosecutor Blackwell leaving the scene after the incident at around 3 p.m. What I'm wondering is, does the video show anyone else passing by there before then?
I don't see anything in the investigation report. It looks like they didn't check.
Just as I thought. If we rewind the footage and go back to around 2 p.m., we should be able to see the true culprit leaving the scene.
Very well then, let's have a look.
There, please stop it right there.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Just as you said, there is a man leaving the scene of the crime.
He's wearing that jacket, he's even got that blood on his hand. Coming out.
Oh my god.
This fan can barely even see him. In his face. That sucks. Miss Psyche, do you remember this person?
That's him! I'm sure of it! He's wearing my mother's jacket! I did, but what I really wanted to see was her jacket.
That jacket on display. That was Dr. Sykes?
Can you see it? There's the slash I made with the utility knife that day. And I'm sure that the knife is under that jacket somewhere.
So then, everything Miss Strike said...
Exactly. It proved that Miss Psyche's memory was correct. Dr. Psyche's killer arrived at the robotic lab before 2 p.m. He killed her and hit her face with a handkerchief. I don't know what that means.
Handkerchief.
Handkerchief. It's like a tissue or a napkin or something.
Oh. Then he disguised himself with Dr. Psyche's jacket and mask that were there in the lab. Jeez, that's a creepy mask.
The culprit probably knew beforehand that Paco charged up at 2 p.m. every day. So he waited for Paco to come to the lab for her regular recharge.
By leaving Dr. Psyche's jacket on, the culprit tricked Paco into thinking he was Dr. Psyche, thereby making it look like she was alive up to that point in time. All to disguise the real time of the death.
Objection!
Objection! Why? It's a nice theory, Mr. Wright, but I'm afraid that is just not possible.
What? Why not? Kristen's jacket is clearly visible right there in this video.
And that right there is precisely the problem. The ID tag on the jacket at the seam confirms beyond without a doubt that it belonged to the victim. If the person who left the lab truly was wearing the victim's jacket, then how could it possibly have wound up back at the crime scene? Oh.
What's going on? That doesn't make sense. Edward's right. If the culprit was wearing the jacket, how did it get back to the lab? The killer brought it back, the victim brought it back, the defendant brought it back. The victim was already dead, so I doubt that the victim. The defendant? I don't know if Athena would. The killer? I don't know, I guess the killer did?
Most likely.
I'll just assume the killer. The killer used the jacket as a sky to make his escape. But in order to conceal that fact, he had to get the jacket back to the crime scene. So the culprit simply returned to the robotic lab later and planted it there. Contradiction resolved.
Objection!
Objection! Except that it would have been impossible. The only person to come to the robotics lab after the killer were Prosecutor Blackwell and the people who reported the body.
Maybe one of those people who reported the body is the culprit.
He's self-reported. And they claimed that the jacket was there when they arrived.
I'm not the imposter.
So, when do you propose this mysterious man of yours had the chance to return the jacket?
A puzzling question indeed.
When did the culprit have the chance to bring the jacket back? When the body was found at the time of the murder.
When the body was found / reported, I think.
Yep, when it was reported. The only time the culprit could have returned the jacket was when the body was found.
Mr. Wright, you do realize the implication of that argument.
I do. Most people, when they come across a murder, focus their attention on the body. The culprit could have taken advantage of the split second to plant a jacket. Can't speak. In other words, the true culprit in this case, the man known as the Phantom, was one of the first people to discover the body.
I would have never thought of that! Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of this, Prosecutor Edgeworth?
The body was discovered and reported by a group of 3 people. They were there to collect the space probe's capsule in preparation for the Hat-1 launch. One of those people had a special bag to transport the capsule in.
Oh, you mean the shock-resistant bag?
Correct. I suppose that if the jacket was in that bag, It could have been returned at the scene of the crime without anyone noticing. I'll see to it that you get the reports on those 3 people.
Well?
We should also check the facial recognition database for that robot. If this person felt the need to hide his face with the theater mask, it might mean that his facial data was once registered.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, does this mean?
I'll have to admit, I believe Miss Sykes' memories to be credible. You win, Wright. Not that this was ever an official trial, anyway.
Do my ears deceive me? Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you actually conceding?
Yes.
Is it true, boss? Does this mean
I can't believe it. It's over. Why? Prove that both Athena and Parker are innocent. Your Honor, I see no need to further prolong this trial.
Objection!
Objection! Hold on, Mr. Wright. Have you forgotten who's in charge of this trial?
That's right. I'm the one who's supposed to say I see no further to prolong.
Not you either, Your Honor. Now silence! Oh. Oh my god!
The little princess who was truly beloved by Metis, and the one who will repay that love with death. All these years, hating Athena was the only thing that's kept me going. Well, what do I do now? Can anybody tell me? How am I supposed to go on?
By hating the Phantom. Miss Blackwell. How unlike you, Aura. Metis was deeply passionate about her work, and she chose you as her partner. Isn't that...
Shut up, Simon! You know exactly how I feel about her! Her respect as a co-worker wasn't all that I wanted.
Then what do you want from her?
Did you really just go there, Your Honor? There was something I wanted to say, if you would lend me an ear. I have in my possession a lead on who Metis' murderer is. You do? Right, don't know. You asked me about the identity of the Phantom of 7 years past. That's right. The Phantom, the person Blackwell had been looking for, even from behind bars. 7 years ago, somebody hatched a plan to sabotage the Hot One rocket.
The spy.
But he was no ordinary spy. We knew naught about him, his background, appearance. We came to refer to him as the Phantom. At the time, I was working with the police to hunt him down. And then one day, a miracle occurred, and I obtained a lead on him. How'd you get the police to convince you to be hunting this down even though you were guilty?
Oh, how exciting! What was the lead?
A recording of the Phantom's voice, but the quality was too poor for a proper voice analysis. Yet I had hope, or his co-worker was a scientist who could analyze human emotions. So I asked her to evaluate the recording using analytical psychology. And that scientist was Dr. Sykes. Yes, a spy's greatest fear is to have this true identity discovered. In addition to Hot One, Dr. Sykes' result and the recording were surely among his targets. But his search of the Space Center bore no fruit, so he must have started to panic.
You couldn't find them? But where could they have been?
Who's to say? Oh, I bet he's never let that out of his sight all these years.
How in the world did you smuggle them into prison?
Oh, I have my way. anyways. What's more, my partner's especially talented at that sort of thing. Oh,
The bird.
yeah. I work to lure the Phantom in by spreading rumors throughout the underworld. I was even granted permission to prosecute cases to attract the Phantom's attention. Just try to retrieve your identity, you bloody flusher. Became my taunt. But what about the result Dr. Science drew up for you? Was there any useful information? Here, you can see for yourself. But take good care of it. It's all I have left of my mentor. I will. I'm gonna hold on to this real tight. Phantom Psych Profile. The subject's emotions rarely fluctuate and he doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. So this person has no emotions?
Or not that much anyway.
I guess.
Oh crap, my headphone cord is caught in my chair!
Psychological profile classified. I don't know what the heck this is. Emotional output of this voice extremely weak compared to typical voices. Subject deemed to have unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation. No emotional fluctuation, huh? A spy who experiences no emotions, not sadness nor anger, and naturally no fear. He is very definition of a phantom, a monster with no heart, don't you see? What a go-getter culprit here. This creature is the rot that destroyed our lives and set what ails us all into motion.
The Phantom, indeed, a fitting name for one who has brought darkness to our world.
Well then. It seems a faint image of this man has started to take shape. Based on what we have learned, I'd like all of you to conduct further investigation.
This trial has gone so long.
This is not a formal trial, but I do follow protocol. If I may, I'd like to hand down my verdicts and bring these proceedings to an end.
Whatever. Do what you want.
You'll hear no objections from me.
Yes, please, Your Honor. It's over. It's finally over.
Very well. In that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, could you please take the stand? As a result of this trial, your innocence has been proven. The verdict handled down 7 years ago is hereby overturned. And now, the defendant of the current trial, Miss Athena Sykes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Whoops.
Mr. Wright, thank you for everything.
Athena, you're more than welcome.
If everyone is ready, I will now give my verdict.
What?
Oh, come on!
Who is it?
You!
I was wondering when you were gonna show up.
Oh, god damn it.
Hold on. Objection! Apollo?
What is the meaning of this?
Congratulations, Mr. Ryan Prosecutor Edgeworth. You look over the truth from 7 years ago, and you saved Prosecutor Blackwell. However, I can't allow this trial to end just yet. I still suspect the demon. Why would you do this to us? We could
Okay, now I'm mad because I had something big prepared for the ending and everything.
Oh my god. Okay, so, actually, hold on, what time is it? Oh.
Whoopsies, I didn't mean to do that. Shoot.
Well, that will be saved for another part. This might be the last part of the trial, at least. We'll just see what Apollo has to say until then. I'm pretty sure there's still something he wants to clear up, which is why he did not want to end the trial. We'll just see what he has to say until then, but that will save for another part. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't know if you did. Until then, we'll just stay
sorry for complaining.
Stay tuned for possibly the last part of this trial, maybe the last part of this episode, final episode, I guess.
I mean, we're gonna do the special one.
Yeah, we're still gonna do the special one, like the final episode of the story, or like the series, but we'll still do the special one. Alright, well, until then, guys, that'll be it. Stay tuned for the last part of assuming the last part of the trial, and then maybe the last part of the episode. Then we'll be moving on to a special episode, which I forgot what it was called, but we'll find out once after. Anyways, thank you, Wright, for joining me in this one, and peace out, guys.
Boy.